neighborhood and y'all go down to City Hall and assert y'all right as the matriarchs to reclaim the land and to discontinue the services of the de facto corporation.
But that sounds like, that would be possible, say, like in the South, in some small towns in the South.
The law of the land is the law of the land. You looking at the law of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. That don't got nothing to do with us.
I'm looking at
As
city.
long as we intoxicated with their law system, we can't use ours. Our system is older than their system. Our system was in place and then they superimposed their system on top of ours.
Mm,
All y'all have to do, the Indigenous Rights Act is the blueprint. It basically tells you that all of the stuff that you have access to when you restore the matriarchy and reclaim your community. The matriarchs always start at the grassroots level with the local community because the mothers in the local community know what needs this community need this. We know it needed because we all live here.
mm-hmm.
The A lot of the fathers is supposed to be out working, they don't have time to look at the needs of the local community like the mothers do. But
Mm-hmm.
now you got a lot of working mothers, so they have to bring in their sisters that's not working to be their spokesperson because they doing the same. They doing daddy role now, daddy duty. So she can't be there with the child all day like she want to be. She got to go clock into Mr. Charlie's job
Right.
to make these ends meet. But never knowing that soon as the matriarch starts saying, okay, y'all can leave, and they go, and then when they leave and give you the key to the city, then you understand what I'm talking about. Because the mayor got to pass the key to the city to the matriarch, that's the matriarch of the town. The chiefs can do it, but they have to do it by force. Big Mama didn't want no more bloodshed. So she said, just tell the women how to reclaim their power.
Mm.
So you set up neighborhood committees of mothers, incorporating all of the social groups in the neighborhood. The leaders of those groups is the mothers of that group. And y'all come together and discuss what that community needs. The people down there, they just there to pay the bills for y'all to implement y'all programs. But since the matriarchy haven't been running, all they've been doing was accumulating the debt, and the debt becomes a national debit to restore the structure. That money they owe y'all. They don't owe it to no goddamn banks. That's why they rolled in the account. They talk about reparations. That's the national credit right there.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
just
that would
got
be
to
one.
flip.
I want to. I want to chime in if I can, Baba, real quick.
Mhm.
That would be one of the problems when you said we were dealing with the grievances, and the reason why the matriarch hasn't come back into power is that first of all, we haven't taken the time to re-educate ourselves. We have to understand we're all miseducated first through the language.
Mhm.
And because we're miseducated through the language itself, we have these schisms. So now we have these mental contracts, verbal contracts, and social contracts that leave us in constraints. You see, so now we're constrained because we haven't taken the time to back up and re-educate ourselves. So now we have a huge insecurity within the communities because
Mhm.
the matriarch isn't properly educated. And I'm going to always hit on this note because I'm a homeschooler, and I noticed that the lack of education comes from the fact that we're afraid to educate our own children. For some reason, we're blanked out to the fact that we have the ability to educate our own, despite that we have been dumbed down and lackly educated within their colonial system. That which I seek is seeking me. If I'm seeking the road to elevate my seed, it will come to me. But we have to be willing to sit down and get the same education we want our seed to have.
Right.
See, and those are the steps we haven't taken as matriarchs, that we have to reconfiscate and get divinity over the mind first, that pineal gland, which we keep hitting on all throughout the presentation. So yeah, um, I just wanted to hit on that real quick because you're going real hard in on that. But we have to be accountable as matriarchs when you say you're here. So what are we not doing as the matriarch to make this come to fruition?
So the biggest obstacle that I didn't see is the sister hate. I ain't finna do nothing with no pack of bitches.
Who
You don't
said
want you don't want to get this monkey off your back because your ego is making you think that you don't want to be around or deal with no sisters. But that connection is facilitating a power structure.
That's
Yep,
right.
that's the, you hit it on the head though. That's the
And
reason.
then a lot of when Elijah Muhammad said the last trick of the devil be to free to give you his woman, you can tell his woman because she don't want nothing to do with no sisterhood.
Mm.
She don't want nothing to do with no sisters, and she don't want you to do nothing to help no sisters. It's all about her and only her. She don't give a damn about nobody else. That's not how our women vibrate naturally. When our women be vibrating like that, that's speaking from trauma. And if they ain't did their shadow work, they gonna think like that too. So the first thing is the sister healing groups is the most powerful thing y'all can do right now. Sisters just getting together to spend time with each other to do nothing. Just be in each other energy. That raises the group mitochondria.
Mm.
That's what the Salem witch hunt was all about. That's what they was trying to stop. So when the sisters do the shadow work and get to the point where they can sit in a room full of sisters and just be a woman for free. Just be a woman for free. Not arguing with no man about no dick, none of that shit. Just being in your womanness as a woman for free. That sister healing group was so powerful it could cure cancer immediately.
Mm.
But we always got to come in and I got to tell her about herself. But don't want nobody to tell you about yourself. I don't know who she thinks she is, call herself telling me. Right? So that's the biggest obstacle. And that's because they mix they women with our women, and that's a horrible mix. If our women wake up to who they is, they can smell the other bitch before she get there. Because you don't believe in Yoni care.
Also, my brother, it's in the program too that whatever we see on TV, we're going to mimic, buy, claim as if it's our culture or tradition. We just don't ever want to be left out of anything. And them knowing this, the music, they can use us with the music. They can use us with any sitcom they want to make about whatever they want to capture, like doing our consciousness movement that we started off doing by spreading the truth at first. Now it seems like mainstream media got it and now have let um, people in just for the how cool it is to know shit now. But they don't go back and try to know shit so that they stay on the truth plane. They just want to be cool and know, like, want to look Egyptian now or want to do something that's associated with the real or the old unintentional, movement, because it was just that new information was coming along. So of course we're gonna want to spread that new information. It got rejected because it was in the form of truth. So what do? They come along with their little wokeism and play like everybody can be woke or anybody can be woke. But no, not if you're not doing the research, learning things for real, trying to get to know yourself and not just following a fad or a trend so you can live under the name of wokeism or consciousness. I mean, they've torn that down now. If they want you to be a drug addict and drink scissor, then just make all the music about that. So easy to target in so many ways, and they'll do it through the youth, and not just like teenagers, but all the way up to like the 20s and 30s. They can have us at any age, um, on any subject, on anything that they want to program in. If they want us making babies, then they'll bring back R. Kelly. They want,
Oh,
they
he on his way.
let him out. Shit,
He about to get out.
I ain't mad at R. Kelly, but
Look,
check it out. Yeah.
now R. Kelly's situation is so foul. You know, R. Kelly is like an idiot savant. He a musical genius, but a social idiot. I'm
Okay.
serious.
Right.
He's intellectually like a second grader.
But did he have a lesson to learn, or are they Bill Cosby and him?
Look, when if you go back and review the R. Kelly case and find out how he beat all them girls,
Mhm.
there's some grown ass stinking bastard bringing these babies to the studio. So that he was being set up from the word go, it's obvious. The problem is when he went down, none of the dirty bastards that was feeding these babies to him was even questioned.
So, did he have a lesson to learn or not?
He retarded.
Damn.
He retarded. Ain't no, but that's the best way I could say it where you could grasp. He's socially retarded, but he's a musical genius. He a Rain Man. That's what he is. An idiot savant.
And so, yeah, if he can't read or write, but he can he can cause over 50% of a population to be born through his music, then there is something there. There's definitely something there.
So they only reason why they trapped him up in that court case because they was trying to steal R. Kelly's royalties.
Damn.
But somebody got his paperwork where he can't even get his money, but it'll pay his child support. Right. So that's just to keep whoever it was trying to set him up from stealing all of his money when they got done misusing him. Somebody got to go in there and find out why these artists ain't getting their money.
Damn! Wow.
Well, they getting paid.
They getting their money stolen from them through a sharecroppers contract that they call a 360 record deal. When they get done with the record deal, the artists end up with no assets, and the record company end up with the rights to the records. Your assets is liabilities. In reality, buying all that shit is draining your economics without replacing it.
Wow. Yeah, we got a lot going on. Who'd ever even thunk a person in the slave condition that they say we were in, right? If they telling the truth about slavery, there's no way we recovered like this, like we are. Like it's some very, very intelligent Negroes out here, right? I don't see them coming from no slave mentality where you done saw your child being eaten by alligator, your man being buck something. Uh, it's like some things don't add up.
You know what gator baiting was about, don't you?
I don't.
So
What?
the gullers, these are bad motherfuckers. The gullers that was in the swamp was friends with the alligators. They used to ride them and attack the Spaniards in Florida
Mm.
because the gators was that's the Sobek priests.
So
And
bad. Okay.
yeah, so they ride the alligators, feed the alligators, pet their belly and all that shit. They wouldn't attack them.
Mm-hmm.
But the foreigners smelled different and they would attack them
Mm-hmm.
because they came over. They look like us, but they don't smell like us.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the gators would eat the Spaniards. And then they start taking and kidnapping our babies, raiding our villages, and trying to get the gators used to our blood. Now, the lie that they tell us is that they gator baited so that the gators would catch the runaway slaves.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really because we was in harmony so much with nature, we could deal with gators in their natural environment without being attacked by them. But the
Right.
invaders couldn't.
Whoa.
That was part of the gullers. We was kicking their ass.
So the stories are true. It just wasn't us being
It
eaten
was.
by the
It
gators. It
wasn't.
was them.
No, they was being eaten by them out the gate.
Right.
They started raiding our villages using our baby's blood to bait the gator to make them have a taste for our flesh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had people who had big ass houses in the swamps built
Right.
on sticks.
Right.
Right? Those were like between the treetop villages and the ground villages. And they got around on gator backs and on stand up canoes.
Mm. Really, Tess?
No, this
No,
what it
I see it. I see it. The liquid drops.
is, some serious shit. They were using that's why there was such a controversy where I mean they had stamps that they used for mailing shit for this stuff. That's why there was such a little I mean such an uproar where
You
they
see my man on the gator right there?
Mm.
this one.
That's how we used to ride them.
Damn.
But that's what Avatar the movie is all about.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, it's just
It makes sense that they would encounter the tree walkers first. They call them skywalkers
Mm-hmm.
because they would be the closest to the upper atmosphere. Some of those trees used to go so high that the top of them would freeze in the upper atmosphere to stop them from growing.
Right.
But their trunks will continue to expand. They
Mm-hmm.
tell us some of these tree trunks is mountains now.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, down during the slave times in Florida and Louisiana and other parts of American South. That was the battle zone.
Right.
Before the Louisiana Purchase, we was fighting the French in New
Right.
Orleans.
Right.
Right. Like constantly fighting them. And somebody had put up a chat saying, "Are we POWs?" Which I believe we
We were.
POWs.
We
But,
wasn't slaves. We were
right,
POWs, but we
right.
here now to get overthrow the motherfucking hostage regime, the hostile invader, the colonist, the colonizer,
Mm-hmm.
right? The colon liar, however you want to pronounce it. He lying out his ass. We ain't come on no ships. We was already here. We was them motherfuckers that wore the feathers and they came over here wearing fezzes.
Mm. Uh-huh.
They want to tell us America everything but the great Atlant and ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit in the Bible. Until we associate ourselves with it, that's the only time it's involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's a contract, it's a riddle, and it's a motherfucking blueprint to overthrow the papacy. So if you don't know what the Bible is, you don't even need to read it.
Yeah, I'm finding that out the hard way.
All you gotta do is go back to the study Emperor Constantine before he set up the Nicene Council. Look at his diaries.
Yeah, I
He
did.
was trying to figure out how can I bottle this shit these motherfucking earthborn got and sell it.
Yeah.
And that's what our Bible study been about. Like we don't understand. Our people really do not understand. There is no religion involved. It is all penal colony code for usurpers, minors.
Peace to Gordon. Yeah.
These are salutations, Gordon. Yeah, that's what they here for.
But
That's
see,
what they here for.
we in the process of overthrowing them. Until we reach critical mass of awareness that they've been served an eviction notice, they can't leave. It's our people the ones keeping them here because we keep going to work and sending our children to their exploitation centers called school.
And it's
If you
hard
do a
not
basic
to
etymology of the word school, it'll make you not want to send your child no more.
Damn.
The English word school comes from the Yiddish word shul, and the Yiddish word shul comes from the Hebrew word sheol, and sheol in Hebrew translates into English directly as hell.
Damn. So you send your baby to hell.
I ain't the one to talk to. You ain't heard it from me.
Damn. Wow. It's sort of like the more you find out what all they did, the more you got to give it to Negroes. Like shit, who else can